This is the third generation Kia Sorento, perhaps the most important car from the South Korean company in recent times. Now, looking at it from the outside, it looks quite similar to the Carnival, both front and rear. In fact, it even shares the same platform and engines. However, being an all-wheel drive SUV, that's where the similarities end.
The front grille here on the top spec is very similar to the new Carnival, keeping the Kia family look very prominent, something that design chief Peter Schreier is noted for. There is also a brand new color added to the lineup called Sunset Red that, well, only looks red at sunset. The rest of the time I think it looks more like a metallic brown, but hey, it's still a nice addition to the rest of the range.
No matter how good a car looks from the outside, it is the interior where you will be spending most of your time. And in the new Sorento, Kia designers have taken it to a whole new level.
The quality and the materials is probably the best in any Kia we've seen to date. The dash and all the touch points are made from soft touch materials. As far as interior colors go, you have a choice of black or this two-tone trim we have here, which is quite nice. And along with the massive sunroof, it gives the already large cabin a very spacious feel. The top spec also gets electric seats with memory function. They're also heated and cooled. In the middle, you have a nice 7-inch touchscreen which takes care of all your audiovisual and satellite navigation needs. Moving to the right, the instrument cluster is also taken care of by a 7-inch computer screen which displays the functionality of the car.
One of the main reasons buyers pick the Sorento is because of its 7-seat capability. Now, I'm sitting in the third row here, and while it looks a little bit cramped, I'm actually quite comfortable. There's plenty of knee room and headroom. Now, this is a bit hard to get into, which is why it's left best for the kids. When they are in here though, they've got an aircon vent, which is standard across all models, and they've got plenty of storage space. So it's a pretty decent place to be.
There are lots of cup holders throughout the cabin, as well as 2 USB ports and 3 12-volt power outlets. That way, the kids will stay pretty happy. The second and third row also fold completely flat. So whether you want to throw your mountain bike in the back or help a friend move on the weekends, it can do the job.
Now, the first thing you notice when you sit inside the new Sorento is how quiet it is. They've done a lot of work to this car, both from an NVH perspective and something as simple as the doors, which previously was 3 parts, has now been pressed into just 1, which makes a huge difference when you're driving around on busy and corrugated roads. Around these twisty types of roads, the Sorento certainly feels its weight. We can feel it going from left to right by our whole body shifting. It's probably not as good as what I was hoping for, but for your daily drive around town, it'll do the job. You have 2 choices when it comes to drivetrains. One is the 3.3 litre V6, which is coupled to the front wheels, or the 2.2 litre diesel, which is an all-wheel drive system. Now, the V6 is got about 199 kilowatts of power and 318 newton meters of torque, while the diesel gets 147 kilowatts of power and 441 newton meters of torque. In a car like this, weight is king, which means torque is all important. So the diesel is definitely the pick of the bunch. Kia employs a motor-driven power steering system, which in my opinion isn't as good as what we were hoping for. However, you do have this drive mode button down here, which with just a simple press changes the weight of the steering system. So you can get it a bit heavier for when you want to have a bit of fun, and put it back to being normal when you go in a car park, which is quite helpful for a car this big. Kia expects the Platinum to be the most popular variant with buyers, and it's no surprise considering the amount of active safety features you get inside. This particular car has got active cruise control, lane departure warning, and blind spot monitoring. My favorite though is the rear cross traffic alert, which will warn you if there is a pedestrian or a car approaching from the sides as you're backing out of a parking space. There are 2 main solid reasons why the Sorento makes the perfect SUV. One is the 7-year unlimited kilometer warranty, which is unbeatable in the industry, and second is the ANCAP safety rating, which is the highest of any SUV regardless of cost in Australia, and that alone should be reason enough to buy a Sorento.
The Sorento range starts from $40,990 for the base spec SI petrol front-wheel drive and goes all the way to $55,990 for the Platinum all-wheel drive diesel.
Well, we've done about 500 kilometers of hard driving in the all-new Sorento, and I can tell you the outcome is quite positive. Now, for the money, it's perhaps the best SUV in Australia in terms of luxury, safety, and warranty. Nonetheless, It is slightly dynamically challenged, but if enthusiastic driving isn't all that important to you, then it should certainly be on your shopping list.